Yesterday, 18th of December 2020, this is 11 years after they conspired to have me locked away for life in Ashworth. They realised their machine gun conspiracy was in turmoil, and in January, that January following December 11 years ago was supposed to be the hearing requiring between 200 and 300 policemen giving evidence having failed in over 40 malicious criminal prosecutions. My BS 614159 plus two others cases. So they dreamed up the idea that they could not get me locked away for life because they couldn't find a second bent doctor. The doctor that did write the fabricated report was sacked, deported to New Zealand, and has had me jailed for 5 years of my life for publishing what I'm telling you now. That is the world of South Wales for you. Well, at 5 o'clock, I drove over to Wales from Taunton, Somerset, and I had to sit in one of these remote court hearings where we had this pious, sacrimonious judge. What did he call himself? Kaiser. And there were 4 barristers involved. And I had to sit for an hour and a half and listen to the lying and the deceit, the level of criminal conduct unfolding in their mouths as they spoke so eloquently, knowing no member of the general public would hear anything what they said. Well, they can dream on about that one. And my own barrister, which I decided to use as an academic exercise, grovelled on his hands and knees, quite rightly, because that's how they do things. And the 2 barristers for the police, constable, who had got hold of this gun, replica gun, from the person I'd sold it from, unblocked the barrel, painted it back to the colour when I used to own the gun, bolted to my biplane, which I flew at Farnborough Air Show, and tried to fool the jury. When they gave it back, they had to paint it back to the colour, and they couldn't even get the colour right. Well, yesterday, the court was reminded that the police eventually, after 11 years of my applications for disclosure, handed over witness statements, police officer statements, gun experts' statements that should have been given to me before the trial in January 2010, where I was facing a 10-year prison term. 5 years for selling it, a prohibited weapon, and 5 years for being in possession. Well, of course, the man who bought it was arrested by the Lincolnshire police. They looked at it and realised it was a piece of water pipe. In fact, it wasn't water pipe. It was a condemned 410 single-shot barrel that, of course, had no vents in it in order to rotate any form of machine gun mechanism. And we had this guy, the QC, the quaintly corrupted, Lloyd Williams, acting for the chief constable, with his underling barrister also in on £1,000 an hour or whatever they charge. They're only there for the money. They dragged it out, and they said, and I said, but no, I didn't say it. I know that last time he said, oh, I've already had a chat with the judge. Mr. Kirk, it's too complicated for a jury. He will not get a jury. It has been arranged that it'll be a 5-day trial, a 1-week trial. This time, my barrister cleverly, with no input from me, said, well, it could be a fortnight long. Oh, the barrister said, oh, no. This case can't continue next year. It'll have to continue the year after. I'm so busy. He's just drawing in a retainer every month of taxpayers' money, large sums of money. And we had to fight for it to continue next year. Oh, 3 months, 4 months' time. They just put my case off. Why put it off? Let's get on with it. Let's have the jury in. Evil, lying little bastards. I had to sit through an hour and a half of it. I just wanted to vomit. I wanted to get up from the chair where I was in Cardiff, chambers, and vomit there on the carpet. I have never witnessed such fabricated criminal conduct of a high level, and yet no one will do anything about it. And I actually got the barrister to actually do it. He said, well, could you order the prison to let Mr. Kirk have his legal papers back? Oh, I don't have the power for that. Bloody liar. Of course he has. He just rings up the prison. What's going on about this? He's interrupting our court cases. On paper he hasn't, but in reality he has. What a horrible experience. I hope I never, ever, ever have to go to a courtroom in Wales ever again in my life. They are just incestuously deceitful.